Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the BPL Season 3, Round of 16, Group B, Round 2. This is the illustrious Contra versus XFactorLive. Contra is up 1-0 after a pretty interesting and kind of close game on Sierra Lada that sort of ended abruptly.
Yeah, so I was actually just talking to Contra on the break a little bit about it. So I was really interested about, at the end there we saw like 10 transports moving over to XFactor's base.
What was this? Just
like, what is that? But Contra was telling me that his whole plan was to like abduct BP and, you know, constructors out on the field. You know, and it's an interesting play. I like the idea. I don't know if it would actually work, but, you know, as a vehicle player, it's kind of harder to get anti-air about. And so, you know, if you just go over there and quickly like take stuff, you know, it could work theoretically.
Yeah. No, I mean that's a great point. I mean, yeah, like lashers are so slow and so frustrating to use that I could totally see that working. That's awesome. I love that he actually wanted to try to do that. I just assumed.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a new thing that he's like inventing, or if that's like, you know, something that he's seen before somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you see it in 8s occasionally because people will like fly over and grab nanos, but I love that he like had the thought to do it in a tournament game in the round of 16 versus X Factor.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen it in 1v1s too, where you abduct units, but like that's like when you're opening an air lab. It's not like mid-game, you know, like mid-game, that's crazy. Yeah. But in mid-game, you can like afford a lot more transports and you can abduct a lot more things. So like, I don't know, maybe this is gold.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll see. So if you guys are just hopping in now, this is Group B, and this is the losers finals in round 2. So whoever loses this series is out of the tournament, and Contra has a 1-0 lead, which means if X Factor does not win this next game, he is unfortunately going home. So Contra's, we're not going to say resting on his laurels, but you know, I think he's feeling pretty good. He's like, hey, you know, I got one game up, I can kind of play around. The only downside is that X Factor does have the next pick.
Yep.
In terms of maps, I mean, you have to go to like a comfort map, right? I think we see X Factor on Canis a lot. What else do you think would be a good option here for X Factor?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder, like, you know, is his mind more in the sense of like, I want to do something comfortable with me, or is his mind more, I want to do something that Contra's not going to be as comfortable on? You know, because there's like that other side of things too. So like, oh, okay, it looks like it's going to be Heartbreak.
Interesting. I mean, so I feel like X Factor is a strong grunt player. You're close with Contra. Do you feel like Contra is, I mean, I've seen Contra use grunts, but we've seen him do a ton of arm bots. So maybe X Factor thinks that because Contra's been playing more arm bots, Heartbreak is such a grunt map that maybe he can throw him off with that? Or what do you think the thought process is there?
Possibly. I mean, I would think that arm bots would be fine on it as well, but I do typically see more grunts on it. I don't actually know why people more or less go on that direction of grunt. But.
Fair enough. I think the game is about to start, so we can. Yep, I hear players loading in, so I think it's time to hop in and see what's going on. We got Contra with the GLHF. What a good guy. X Factor, YouTube returning it. Such positivity in the bar scene. We've got Contra is opening arm, so he actually what? He's not even.
Take a look at X Factor.
Oh, come on!
So he's doing it again, man.
Really.
This is probably going to be another short one.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, either way, it's going to be short, or you never know. I mean, if you watch the, no, you cast the Sash with Barcast game with me, right? Where Sash Core just flew up Dig on the lab and then flew away and played a normal game. Yeah,
I mean, I mean, that's, I think, a lot of the times what is supposed to happen. But yeah, we'll see how Contra does with defense here.
All right, so X Factor is picking it up. He knows where it's going to be, and Contra has his lab going down. He's going to open his standard 7-tick 1 con, so all eyes on X Factor. It's either gonna.
Well,
win
if we
or it's
remember
gonna
from
lose.
the modulo game, like he defended it with just 2 ticks. He took the commander.
True. I mean, the flanking damage is the flanking damage will literally win the game. He needs to degun the lab for the experience, so he gets the bonus HP, so he can trade. But and Contra sees it with a tick. He knows it's coming now.
Yep.
All right, and what do we got here?
Ticks to flank.
Ticks to flank. He needs D-guns on him now. They get shots 66, 50. No,
oh,
Contra's
the
got
damage
this.
is already too good.
Damage is already done. Now they can hug and. All right.
Well, that's it.
Well.
Easy peasy.
I think it was a pretty long, pretty hard-fought game. I think Contra had some great micro and some great macro in that game. What do you think, Zateo?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the like doing it immediately, because it is so very all in. Like if he had like, I don't know. I guess you kind of need to do it immediately, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't want to say the better way to do it, but I think it works really well if you degun the lab and then just leave. As crazy as that sounds, because then it's like you're ahead, you're so far ahead in metal, it's insane, right? Like if you degun the lab and some energy and then you can pull out, you just come out really, really far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on if you build up a follow-up or not, right? If you like if you are building a constructor with it, if you're building a few wins with it, you can do stuff like that. But because he only built the lab and then the thing, and then went in right away, there is no possibility of that. So I'm not as big of a fan of that particular version of it, I suppose.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think it definitely could be map specific there. Update on Group B. There we go. We're keeping OS versus high OS versus low OS. Actually kind of breaks here. Technically X Factor should have been on the other side. That's my mistake, but Contra takes it 2-0 versus X Factor. So X Factor unfortunately is gonna go home, which is a little sad. I mean, he got second place at the Alpha Cup, and I think he definitely played some good games, but he just sort of got a little bit, I wonder if he hadn't tried to cheese those 2 games, if it would have turned out differently.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I kind of have the sense of like, he didn't really try that hard this tournament. Maybe he's, been busy or knows he's not as well practiced, or I don't know. There's probably, a million different things that could be going through his head. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. And that is going to be, this is going to be the end of round 2 in Group B. And so now we have the elimination final, which is going to be what? Contra versus Modulo. Hello.
This should be good. To be longer than the last one.
Yeah.
I'll bet on that.
One would hope. I'm going to, I will not take that bet. I'm going to agree with you on that one there. So we will see you guys there for round 3 of Group B.